Okay, today the life application is for the youth, and we are supposed to be evaluating ourselves with the Word of God and understanding how we're going to show up in these unpredictable situations that we'll run into without our parents being around or people that know us, literally in just new environments and what it looks like to show up representing the Lord and walking in your purpose using the word. So, hmm, so first I'm going to go over the goals. Um, Goals of lesson: understanding the importance of emotional awareness, to have the ability to use the word in worldly situations, to further analyze yourself, to accept your identity and responsibility as a kingdom delegate. So the next two slides were just emotions that you experience, and you guys were supposed to pick three. Did anyone want to share their three? Just to share how you, I don't know, how are you when you are. So just describe how you are, because the best way to further analyze yourself is when you understand yourself, even when you're in emotion that you may not completely enjoy, but it's good to understand yourself in any emotion. So did anybody want to share which ones they wrote down last Sunday? Hmm. Did y'all pick any? You don't have your what? Oh.
Um, Confused, curious, and stressed from this one, and then the second one I chose was for the second side. Those the three that I chose was satisfied, content, and proud.
Why did you choose those?
Um, cause that's what I've been feeling recently.
Mm, okay. I would say why, but I don't know if you want to like share that. Okay. But knowing the why is important. So even if you don't share it with us, it's very important to have it written down for yourself, because you're not going to be this you one day. You have to understand like, oh, I remember in 2025 or 2026 I felt this way. And so maybe years down the road you realize like, oh, I dealt with this emotion with this scripture or in this way, or I spoke to this person. So it's all on your own journey on how you're feeling, because feelings come and go. But that's why the word is important, because it stays the same. So you got to have that balance and to understand the word and yourself. So even though Ventrell and Ethan, you guys don't have your emotions, I do want you guys to maybe pinpoint certain, because I have this. This is a list, but I'm pretty sure there's so many other feelings that you can have. But it's very important that you do this. Like, I don't know if dudes don't have diaries, but you guys can get journals. I mean, I have a journal, but I'm not a dude. But it's like you need to have somewhere where it's literally just data just about you, just about how you're feeling. Like, you don't have to write in a journal every day, but I've found journaling important for me as I talk to God. Like, I'll write down, but it's really like I want to say it. So it's like intertwined, and it's like relationship. That's how I strengthen my relationship, just because I'm just putting all my cares in this journal, but really like God knows everything that I'm feeling, and He'll help me. I actually journal and read the Bible. Like, it's a step by step that I do for myself. Okay, so next slide. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. So I had this note. As kingdom delegates, we have to be aware of the situation and the people. So it starts with us. Next slide. So we are transforming beings. It made me think about this short little part in the scripture in this book. I think it's Luke. It's literally just Luke 9 and 28 and 29, but 28 to 29. About 8 days later, Jesus took Peter, John, and James up on a mountain to pray. And as he was praying, the appearance of his face was transformed, and his clothes became dazzling white. If you read different versions of that same scripture, you really understand that your spirit will transform you. And so, and to strengthen your spirit is, of course, choosing your spirit instead of your soul. So in any situation, you have to make a decision on who you want to be in a new environment. And so it's easy to self-indulge and fit in, but that's not beneficial. The word beneficial is very important because it's a lot of things that you can do that may seem harmless, but knowing yourself and knowing how God sees you, then you'll understand what's beneficial for you. So yeah, that's when we go into our scenarios. That's when we get most of our juices flowing. And so last Sunday we did really good on our, it was about the professor mocking religion. I didn't know if anybody had any more thoughts or notes about that, but if not, we can go to the second scenario. Okay. It's a little cut off, but it's okay. Okay. Scenario, the ride after practice. You go to practice and everything goes well. Practice ends and it's time to head back to free housing where you and other participants will be staying. You get into the car with a few people and who will also be staying there. A few minutes into the ride, the driver next slide. Hey, do you mind if I light this up? Before you can respond, someone else in the car says, yeah, that's fine. They begin passing the joint around the car. You are sitting in the back seat. No one forces you to smoke, but you're now in the middle of the situation. So, I would say, what scripture would you use, but what would you impulsively think or do? Like, you have your phone, you have all your stuff, your parents know because you're on this trip. Because say, for example, the ride after practice is it's tutoring for coding or something. And actually the tutoring group becomes a club, and you guys just came from like a esports conference or something. And so now your professor or the head of chair of your major paid for you guys to go. And so this is just you and like 4 other people your age, same major, same classes, everything. For Emmanuel, you just came from something like a talent show that they're showcasing in 2 months, and you guys were just doing sound check and making sure that y'all did wardrobe fitting or whatever. And it was fun. Y'all were there for hours, and now y'all are hungry. Y'all going back to where y'all was going, and this happens on the way back home or to wherever y'all staying. And then, I don't know, Venturell, you could just be in the car with someone that might be a little older than you, and you didn't think that you were going to be in this situation. Running track. Oh, well, you can just, somebody's carpooling, and then instead of the mom picking you up, somebody's mom is supposed to be picking you up, their big brother picks y'all up, and their friend is in there too. And so how you gonna explain coming home to your castle smelling like, ooey, but yes. So what would you impulsively do? Like, first thing go into your mind? Oh, put it in the mic. But you in the car, and you're staying with these people. Like, y'all are out of town. These are your only ride. Like, there's real, like, get you out of here, but how? Because they got you there. Y'all just left from High Point. Like, that's your only ride. Unless you get an Uber. But, like, how you going to explain? Well, I won't say how you going to explain to your parents why you need the Uber. But you can. Yes.
So, no. I ain't finna tell them the answer. So this actually happened to my sister-in-law's son. He was off in college, and they went to Florida. She didn't tell me what part of Florida, and they was doing some stuff, and he called her crying, "Get me out of here! You got to get me out of here!" So I didn't ask what was going on, but it was something that didn't go along with what he was taught. He had enough sense to say, "Get me out of here," and he almost had a nervous breakdown because of the exposure.
Mhm.
So it does happen.
Ethan, do you have anything?
Um, I guess my first response would just be like, or with the scenario, are they already like doing it?
Well, you're in the car, and they decide to read it, or you want me to say it?
I'm just asking, have they already like started smoking?
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, yeah. If you mind, if I
Uh,
like this up.
yeah. Cause my first thought or response would just be like, communicate that I really don't mess with not only smoking but just like the fumes of it or the actual smoke. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like that at all. But if they're still gonna do it, I'd probably just like get out of the car, Uber, get my own ride, something like that.
Ethan. Okay. What if they're like, oh man, you lame. Oh my gosh, you're always like this. We're not gonna be friends with you no more. Sleep outside. Like, what if they make it so uncomfortable to a point where it seemed like we have that fight or flight sense. It's kind of like logically, if I do what they want, I'm gonna be more safe and I can at least go in my bed. But if they're making it a big deal and now you feel unsafe and uncomfortable, are you still gonna stay in your ground?
Well, one, if they're making a big deal about it, then genuinely, I don't really care.
You don't. Okay.
um,
That's good. That's good.
uh, but two, with the scenario, this is like an institute thing, so I think I'm still fine with staying at the house or whatever. I normally try to have my own space anyway, so
Okay. That's actually really good. That you'll stay in it because there'll be sit- sometimes there will be situations where there will be the people that's like doing it, they'll be respectful towards you. And then now you've created that branch of trust or respect from that person. Whether wherever they came from, whatever they like to do, it's like that's good because it's a lot of people that believe in Jesus that try to make it like a sermon and try to make it something more than it is. It's like, that's not what I do. That's me. That's it. I'm gonna go over here, or let me know when y'all are done, or can y'all wait until we get to the place and y'all do it in the car and I'll go in my room. Like, be a little bit. So that's really good. Emmanuel, you say you would leave, but like y'all in. Hmm.
Probably first instinct either ask them to wait till we get to our destination or roll the window down.
Hmm.
But yeah, that would be my first instinct.
Okay. Okay. What did you do, Mitro?
I guess for me, it wouldn't part so matter to me. I just wouldn't partake in the action. Granted, I know one time I would probably be used to it because even though I've been to multiple places where not necessarily that same as that example have occurred, but I've been around others who have done that and like in front of me or around me, and so I don't say I would probably be affected by it. I probably just wouldn't partake in the action.
Okay. Why wouldn't you partake?
I guess one way, because given now, even though my profession, that can be very unprofessional to others, if I'm trying to do something and they know that I may indulge in that activity or that habit. So that's probably one reason why. And the other reason is because I want to keep my body in order. If I know that that's going to harm my body, then I'm not going to do that to my body.
Okay, that's good. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to say what you would benefit from it. Because, I mean, of course, we're supposed to be compassionate and considerate of the people around us, but it starts with us as transforming beings. So that's really good because your decisions are representation of what you stand for. So even if they just met you and they don't completely know that you come from Fayetteville, you go to Faith Consulate and we talk about changing the world, they don't know a lick of any of that. It's like, that's really good because the more you do it and the longer you're away from your parents or the longer you're in your university, the more you're like basically creating that identity for yourself because what you put out, like we sow seeds, it'll come back. It's like the way you show up is how everything is going to operate around you. But you have to stay consistent with that. And you have to understand, like I said, self-awareness, read the word, give it to God. It's like a rotation because every day you're not just walking by yourself. You got angels walking beside you, but you also have the word that you cling to your heart. And that's what carries you and keeps you. So when you're in these situations with people that don't know anything that you know about your journey with the Lord, that's fine. But that's what you have to know. And we're royalty. So there's also things that we just don't even, it's like, you're so over because that has nothing to do with me. Like, what is that example that Pastor Ben said? Pastor Ben and Lady Joy were at this, I want to say, speaking engagement or something with Pastor Bill Winston. And somebody was saying like, oh, I struggle with like having a wandering eye or something. And he was like, if that's what you struggle with, you shouldn't even be in this room. So for you guys have you should already, I'm not saying you should just be arrogant, but you should already have that, like, okay, be respectful, be cool, be adaptable, because sometimes when you're so stuck in your way, then you don't learn. So you have to understand, like, what is that? It's something where you understand, even though it's the good or the bad. I don't know what it is. But yes, that is good. I love your responses to staying in your word and staying in your truth, and maintaining your identity, because there's going to be a lot of people that you run into that identify with a lot of things. And like we talk about a lot, it's cultures like, oh, this is what my uncle did, this is what my mom did, and blah, 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 blah. And that's them. But that's why it's sometimes easy to indulge, because it's like, if you lack your understanding of your identity, it's easy to kind of like, okay, I don't really know myself about this, so I'm just going to do this because they seem like they know what they're doing. They know who they are. But really, they're just imitating somebody else's personality. So, yes. Love you guys' responses. Let me see. Sure.
I need to say this because I think Eventrail said, he said something about staying in the car that it won't affect him. And I don't want to gloss over that because it does affect you.
Oh.
When you're in the car and they're smoking, you get a contact. And it does affect you because it will change your disposition. It will get into your system to smoke. Just being around it. You don't have to smoke it. But just being around it in close proximity to it, it still has an effect on you. But so if this is not something that you partake in, then, and they decide that they're going to continue to do it, then it's probably going to be, not probably, it's important for you to decide how you're going to get out of that situation, because it still has an impact on you, and I didn't want to gloss over that.
Thank you, Ms. Toyer. Yeah. What's it called? Oh, okay.
So the comment I had for those individuals that would remain in the car, and more so to add to your scenario. So let's say as you are in this car and the police now pulls you over. I'm curious to know what the response for those that would remain in the car would be at that point now that law enforcement is involved and because you are still in the car. So what your response would be to the officer that has now pulled you all over, has searched the car, has found this illegal substance, and you guys are still in the car.
That is a real scenario. And don't let y'all be driving on the highway and it's the state trooper type of pullover because they take their job a little bit more serious. That is a possibility that could occur because you guys are in a car and it is a property that belongs to somebody and it's in someone's name and someone's insurance. So you got to think about, you have to understand the systems that you're around too. That's why it's important. Well, we have our principles and we have our rules and we have a unconditionally loving God, but we do have conditions as being Christians. So just like that, you're in a car and somebody got weed in the car, there's conditions, there's policies, there's rules. And so if you're abiding by them or breaking them, they have no choice but to enforce justice. I guess that's a more of a formative thing because I would, like, what would you do if you guys got pulled over and the windows stayed up because the term of when there are people with a smoking substance and the windows are up, it's considered hot boxing and people like to do that. So, and then they call you lame or they whatever, they try to make you feel bad for rolling down the window. Of course, you stand in your ground, but you never know because if you feel unsafe by the people, you never know because it's a natural instinct of what you would do to make yourself at least okay. But then you're freaking out because either way, you're still breathing. You can't not breathe. So how would you feel? How about that? How would you feel now that you're breathing in something that you've never done before? You're with people that you kind of know, but you haven't known that long. Your parents don't know. They kind of know where you at, but they don't know the details of transportation, to and from type of details. So how would you feel? I want to say, what would you do? How would you feel? No, how would you feel? Like emotion. Y'all don't have no emotions? Y'all just gonna be
Well, when you put it like that, anxious.
okay.
First, yes, that'll be my first emotion.
Okay. Ethan, what would be the emotion? Put it closer to your mouth.
I guess I'm not really sure. I mean, I personally wouldn't get up to that point, or I wouldn't even want to be like to the point where I have to roll down a window. It's just not be in that situation, I guess. I don't know.
What is the emotion?
I don't know. I guess annoyed.
Annoyed? Okay, annoyed. Why annoyed?
I don't like being in that kind of situation.
What kind of situation?
Between the hotboxing and the police officer, I just like the whole situation would just kind of make me irritated.
Okay. Well, why would it make you irritated?
It, um, I guess it's just a lot of stuff that I guess doesn't have to do with me. That is my problem. So
Well, kind of in this situation, it kind of does have to do with you because whether or not it's yours or not, you're in the car. And when the police comes to the car, they're not going to be like, "Oh, these are the people that sparked up, and he's just this innocent one kid in the back." No.
that's why I wouldn't be in the car.
So you're going to be annoyed, you're going to be irritated, but you have to know that you could be held. But why? Okay, listen to the scenario. You're on the way back. So you're saying you're going to get out the car. They're driving. So, and you guys got pulled over while you were on the way to the place. So what do you mean you're going to get out? You're going to get out on the side of the highway?
Out by the time they pulled out the lighter. Or
When are you going to call the Uber? When you standing on the side of the road? You gonna stand on the side of the road until the Uber come?
yes.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay. Vitrell, what was your emotion?
Because what you're asking, because what you're asking is valid because it could happen before he gets out the car. That's what. So you got to be specific with him. Okay. So he's still on. I'm gonna get out the car. So I'm not understanding why I got to answer this question. Right. So before you get out the car, if the police were to pull up as you were getting out the car, what would you do? What would you say? That kind of thing. But okay, go ahead, Ventura.
The question. Well, he said he will be annoyed or irritated. So okay. I see what you're saying. That is an option to do, but there could be a galore of things or different. What is it called? I guess more details into the scenario that could change the outcome. But in that case, you want to remove yourself from the situation, which is smart. At a certain extent, because I'm thinking about safety, and it's kind of like, yeah, is it nighttime? Is it daytime? Is it cold? Is it raining? So it's the highway. Who gonna pull over in the highway? You're not supposed to do that. So are they gonna pull over for you and kick you out? Like, and what if they're like, well, I don't want to say you're close friends, but what if they're actually noble and they don't want to leave you on the side of the road? So now you're kind of stuck in this in the car. So you have to consider that and unpack that emotion you will have. And yeah, that'll be important. Ventro.
I guess for me, I would probably remain calm. My disposition probably wouldn't change. I would just focus more on me and less of the group aspect. So if it was my turn to be, I guess, pulled out or like pulled over, I guess I would still work in the spirit with the officer. I would try to explain to him everything. But even if it happens to me, I guess I would be okay with it either way because that would be a risk that I would take. So I would know that beforehand, even if they started smoking.
Okay.
My emotion, if I was them, I can put this, I would be like, oh my God, I'm a dead person. My parents are gonna kill me. That's what I would be thinking. That would be my emotion.
Okay.
If you ask for emotions, I'd be like, oh my God, the police is nothing. I got to deal with Gary and Christine.
Okay, valid. Okay. Say your response again. I'm trying to understand what you would actually do because that sounds like a great answer. But is this, help me understand what you're saying again.
I would still remain calm, and when it's my turn for him to, I guess, ask me questions or pull me out the car, I would just remain how I am in my disposition and just tell them everything that happened.
But you've been in a car with people smoking. You think you're gonna be a chill, normal person? Okay. But in a case where your body is feeling different and you're trying to communicate normally, you have to think there is a possibility you may not show up as Prince Ventrell. You know what I'm saying? So, and you're amongst three or whatever car it is, you're amongst a group of other people, even though you're representing yourself, but the police don't care about that. They care about, okay, someone broke the law. So I don't even know, do they question you at the car? Like, or do they instantly arrest you? Oh, they do? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that is good to do, but you have to understand that it may not go the way that you're thinking. And so you have to expect that and you have to be ready for that. You have something?
Yes, we are going to get put out. And I want to take it even further than that, because even after college, in your adult life, you still have that very same scenario throughout the rest of your life. And I wanted to bring up a point. My nephews, all of them do that. And when I go home, because I know they do that, first of all, I'm not getting in a car. Because of one, who I am and what I am, and because of what I have to lose and the consequences are behind that. So I already know what that consequence is. The second thing is, you're not gonna get in my car at all. I'll meet you there, I'll see you there, but no, if you know that your friends are doing that, why even get in the car in the first place?
Because look at the scenario.
Right.
They just came from.
But I got that, but the moment. No, I'm just saying because it goes beyond that. It goes beyond just the scenario. Well, your scenario is great for college kids, and I even make the question that even when you go to college, as I've taken some of you to colleges, as soon as I walk in the dorm, I smell it, and it is outrageous. Me, myself, I'm ready to back out the door and just walk back and don't even get in the room or don't even go in the dorm or whatever. It just reeks. When Dominique was in school, I was like, oh my gosh, Dominique, this is what he had to be exposed to going his first year of school, knowing that it's inside of the dorm. Now you're inside of a car. Now the police are behind you and everything else. So that's a whole lot that you have to deal with as a teen in college, in school, the peer pressures and all of that. But if you know it at some point in time, I'm like Ethan. I'm getting out of the car. You can have me 500 miles down the road, and as soon as you fire it up, I'm getting out. No, put me out, whatever you do. And I agree with Ethan in that scenario. And no, but I'm just saying. I mean, I just wanted to bring that up because I face that every time I go home. Okay. Every time I go home.
Can I take it a little further? Just please, because it will happen. They get stopped, and the other three says, it is on. And they say, okay, we gonna put it all on Ethan and Manuel and Ventrell, because then what? They gonna put all the way. He the one gave it to us, and he was in there smoking with us too.
Well, if I'm being realistic, I've never been in trouble with the law enforcement, thank you, Jesus. So, and yeah, I'll be thinking about a lot of stuff. I'll be thinking about what my parents gonna say, because, hello. So not only that, with the police, so it's gonna be a mixture of me calling on Jesus and showing all my emotions at that moment. So, yeah.
Okay, so you would call your parents as soon as you get a chance to,
Yes.
and then
And call Jesus.
okay, and call Jesus, which is good because there's a lot of things that's out of your control. But the only thing you can control is how you respond.
Yeah.
Even if you can impulsively, like logically, oh my gosh, you're supposed to freak out. You're supposed to, and especially if they falsely accuse you, oh my gosh. I think I would just be like, what? But then it just seemed like I'm more lying because I'm trying to not say that I did this. Anyway, but that's good. That actually pulls on a string of how you would respond. And even if you're feeling anxious, even if you're feeling scared, and or if you're worrying, that's not where, even though in that situation, that's what you're feeling. But when you have to think about it, we can cast that out. We can deal with it in a different way. If Jesus was on the boat asleep and it was a whole storm going, you guys can have that self-awareness to calm yourself down, even if you can't control what the police is going to say, what your friends are going to say, or whatever. You have to trust and know that you're going to be okay. That hopefully, and you just pray for favor. Hopefully, they're just like, hey, we just going to take y'all down to the station or whatever. Call your parents, da-da-da-da. They don't press anything. They don't really arrest you for real. Well, taking you to the station is arresting. But, you know, just they do the lightest thing they can do. But you have to know that it might go left and it might be more serious and it could be on your record. And y'all are there from representing your school and your university. So that's another thing to think about because you never know what that could jeopardize for your major, for that department, for the university in general. So your responses are good. I don't want to say I want to know really how you respond, but I'm not speaking that over y'all to be in this situation. This scenario is it's a real life scenario because this is my scenario. I was in the car. Huh, ma'am? Okay, so I was in the car. I was. Okay, yes, ma'am. I can. So I was a part of this organization. I don't want to say the name because then it's like, okay. I was a part of this club for creatives. So I worked with singers, dancers, content creators, and we had a photo shoot. And the creator of the company, he lived in Matthews, Charlotte type of area. And so I planned to travel there to Matthews because we had a photo shoot to represent. I was part of the production team, so I was a leader, and they wanted me to come. I think we had to wear like your favorite outfit or something like that. And I've been playing this for like 2-3 weeks, and I was excited to go photo shoot. This is great. It's great for my resume, great for my major. Everything was great. I guess in this scenario, I'm a commuter, so I live with my mom. So sometimes I use that card to, if I need a ride, because I know she doesn't want me having Jerry on the highway. Oh, Jerry is the name of my car, by the way. So sometimes she just wants me to be safe on the highway, even though I know she knows I can drive, but I understand. So, okay. So we're driving. I'm like, hey, Mom, I need to go to Matthews. So we could wake up early, whatever, because Charlotte, Matthews, is about 2.5-3 hours away from Fayetteville. And, but before we left, the leader or the director guy, he basically said the production team had a place to stay. He actually rented out an RV for us to like live in. It looked nice. And if for you, I don't know, I really like RVs, or I like really like cute small places like that. So I was really excited because he didn't have us to pay for anything. It was just, and then it was like with people that I've worked with before. I don't want to say they were my friends, but I was just like, it's with the vibes. It's cool. And so, but my mom was kind of like, well, I'm here and we could get a hotel. You could just stay in the hotel. You don't have to go to the RV with them. You can just, be in this nice bed, your own bed, breakfast in the morning type of place. And I wanted that, but I was like, no, I just really wanted to be in the RV for real. I didn't think about the people. I didn't think about anything. So finally we get to the photo shoot. Photo shoot went well. Food was there. It was great. Actually, there were some people that we like picked up on along the way because they needed a ride too. But then it was time to go. The photo shoot ended around. It was kind of dark outside, so I want to say like 8, 9-ish or something. And so, but I still never told my mom if she needed to go back. Like, do I need her to stay in Matthews or go back home because somebody that's staying in the RV is here? I could just go with them. But there is an interesting fact here because the guy that was supposed to be staying there along with this other girl, my mom knew him because she's an advisor, and so she kind of knew him as like a student. And so he's not like a dangerous, interesting person. He's just well known, and I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what other adjectives to describe him, but he's not bad. It's just that he comes with himself. He's very of his culture, you know. I don't want to seem like I'm bashing him for real. But I made a decision. I was like, I really want to stay in the RV. And I was like, Mom, can I just go with them to go to the RV? And like, you could just stay in the hotel and da-da-da-da. And she did not like that. But she was just kind of like, sure, just get your stuff and go in the other car. Like, just do it. And so I got on my stuff. I had like a feeling like right here in my stomach, like maybe I shouldn't go. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, but I was feeling okay. So I got my stuff and I got in the back seat. The car was interesting, but it was chill. We were chilling. We were on the way. So literally, I saw the GPS. He put the address in to go to the RV site. It was legit too. It wasn't like a creepy area. It was a really nice RV. And so we were on the way there. And as soon as we got on the highway, I hear, I was like, And it was a girl in there. It wasn't just me. It was the guy, it was a girl, and then it was me in the back seat. And so he was like, Kalea, you smoke? I was like, no, I don't. And he was like, well, you mind? I'm like, this is your car. So that's what I said. I know I should have responded differently, but I was like, this is your car. I can't tell you what to do in your own car. And so they started passing it with each other, and I'm texting Jeremiah. And so, Jeremiah's my boyfriend, by the way. I'm texting Jeremiah as in like oh my gosh, I'm in the backseat, they're smoking. Like as in oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. Not in a freaking out way. He did not like that at all. Like he was like, what? Like his response was so different. And so he said, yeah, I'm calling your mom because I was like, what is wrong? Like, I'm not doing it. Like, we're just gonna go to the RV. And he's like, are you serious? And he was like, who's driving? And I told him, he's like, are you kidding me? That dude that be going around the campus, he's like, he makes music. He's like a local artist in Fayetteville. Are you kidding me? And he was just downplaying it. And I didn't see anything was wrong until I told him. And then while he was doing that, while I was texting, we took a stop. We stopped and it wasn't at the RV. It was this house with like 8 or 9 cars in the parking lot, in the driveway. And the dude was like, I just gotta go in here, pick something up right quick. And I was just like, this is interesting. And I think that's when I started texting my mom. I was like, yeah, Mom, I think you should come get me. And yeah, we met this person that's his mom, but that's not his mom. I don't know. I didn't get out the car, but I was in the back, and I was just kind of like, oh, hello. Like, then we went to the gas station, get gas. But yeah, that's when the rendezvous happened because my mom came to pick me up from there. Yeah, that was that situation. I'm trying to think about anything else that occurred, but what would I do differently? I definitely would have just went with my mom because it was safer. Oh yeah, that was another feature that I forgot. So actually, the people that went, like I didn't go, so it was only that guy and the girl. They stayed in the RV, but the very next day, the guy that got us the RV got an email from the Airbnb owner and was like, you guys owe us a $200 fee because they found like beads of weed in the everywhere, and the dude claimed like he did not smoke. I'm like, bro, okay. He's one of them people that say I'm not lying, but like we didn't say you lying, but that makes you seem like you're lying. So for that reason, I felt, so when you're asking me what should I have done differently, I should have went with my mom, because if I would have stayed in the RV, even though I wouldn't have went to go smoke with them, I still would have been held responsible for that deposit. I would still be responsible to have that reputation of, we don't even know what happened because somebody's lying. I know I'm telling the truth, but somebody literally can never know if I'm telling the truth or not. And so as I get this text, I'm in the hotel at 9 a.m. eating fresh fruit and eggs and pancakes with my mom. So my mom was just kind of like, why didn't you like stick to the plan? And I was like, I just wanted to go in the RV. But I think my lesson was to like just trust in what's already provided to me, trust in what's good and beneficial for me. Because if I really want an RV, I could just save up my money and make sure that when I'm older, I'll just have my own RV. Like, so if it was that serious, but in that moment, it was like really nice, guys. Okay. Yeah, that's what I would do differently. And, yes, Elkin, you have a comment or a question?
So personally, I'll just give what I would do in this situation. So I just looked at the scenario, I read it, and it said, you're in a car, you get in a car, you're just trying to get a ride. I've been in this scenario plenty of times. And when they say, do you mind if I light up? What I would tell them, I very much mind.
That's what I should have said.
And you're not finna jeopardize everything that I have going on, respectfully, of course. Mm-hmm. And either they respect it or not. And one time, they still want to do what they want to do. All right, this is too easy. I'll get out. It's PT. Either I'll just call an Uber or a ride or however. Now, there was another scenario where I was working a job where you all got in the van and like you go to a site. So they start smoking and like all of that, but we going to a job. Yeah. So I'm gonna make my money regardless. So in this scenario, this is what I thought of at the moment. If we was to get stopped, first off, I automatically, like this is what you need to think of as someone young. You have your phone, record yourself, facing yourself. You can make sure you verbally say, like, I do not support or I don't, like y'all smoking, like I don't want nothing to do with any of that. Have it pointing at yourself, like you show yourself and all, because in case you get stopped, you go ahead and show that police officer the video, and then you can voluntarily, because the secondhand smoke or whatever, that is not gonna get into your system like that, or however. You can voluntarily take that P test. All of them gonna get caught. That's them, whatever. You keep that recording that whole time. Make sure you show yourself verbally saying that. I was doing a job on base, and they didn't have weed, but they had a weapon on them. Now, the way you go on base, you can get 2 charges. You're civilian and military, so you going down. and they do, you're guilty by association. So you going through that gate, this dude had a gun on him, was finna go on, and I think I was cutting grass at the time for this company. And of course they gotta check everybody in the van for anything. So the dude just happened to he forgot to put in his car. They checked his bag, and when they pulled out that gun, when I say everybody in the van was finna beat this dude up, it was no exaggeration. But they gave us the leeway. They made him get out because we had no recollection or did we know of it. So that was the grace of God protecting everyone. And because wherever you are, you anoint that whole place wherever you step. So when they took that dude out, he had to go stand on the curb or whatever. I don't know what happened to her, I forgot. But we was able to go. We was able to go, do our job, make our money, go back home. But it was as simple as that.
That's good. I think that's why it's important to understand the systems that we're around. We're in America. Everything has policies, rules, everything. And things like that is important to know or to read upon or ask about or to consider, and just to understand the world around you, because of course we're not of this world, but we are in the world. So we're here like temporarily. So, but you have to understand where God put you. You can't, like, I think that's how religious people kind of stay stagnant, because they don't try to learn about these new people, or they don't try to, even though don't purposely go into a room or a place that you know that bad decisions are being made, but don't completely cut off from understanding people, because you understanding that you're a prophet of the nations, when you know that you have authority, you have to collect that data about people so you can know what to pray for, what to consider. And as you're growing up and you understand yourself as in a career, or when you get a job, or when you're just growing up, you have to know that you just have to keep that mindset, because you're going to be surrounded by people for the rest of your life. Like, you need people. Like, people go crazy when they're just by themselves for too long. So that's really good. Thank you, Elkin, for sharing that. And please take that into consideration, because there's a lot of times where some people don't have cars on campus. So there are a lot of situations where you're in one car bundled up with 6 people type of thing. So, and you don't know everybody like that. Of course, you have favor and God will look out for you. And favorably, you will just, every time you leave campus or you're in a car, you're just with people that you know and trust, and you know that they don't do those things that you do. But I'm just thinking about y'all first semester, even second semester, it's shaky, because it's just new, and it's a lot of things that you don't know, and it's new things that you're going to experience or you're going to feel. And it's like, of course, your parents is a call away, but they're not right there. They're not downstairs. They're not around the corner. So that's why, yeah, your life is literally in your hands, basically. So whatever you put in your life, whatever you put out of your life, like, it'll affect, and that outcome will come. And your faith is definitely going to keep you. And I know a lot of people say that, like, when the older, not, I don't want to say older people, but I just know I have a history of people who are older than me that have a lot of situations about how faith has worked out for them. But as a young person, it's not a lot of life that I've lived. So when it comes to faith and when it comes to God showing up, yes, I have a lot of scenarios where God has shown up, but I don't want to say not in the capacity, but when you're just with yourself and you hear people talk about the Lord, it's really all on what you understand about the Lord and how you see how he shows up, because he's there anyway. But that's why, what is that scripture when it's like people are spiritually dead or they're blind, but when you actually get your sight and when you're finally alive, then you understand, like, oh my gosh, God was there the whole time and I didn't even know, because I didn't take the time to read the Bible or talk to him. And so in these scenarios, of course, you can't control how other people respond, but that your spirit will definitely give you that groundiness, and it'll keep you safe, keep you sane, keep that refuge in you. Because even though I was in that back seat, like, I knew, okay, I'm just gonna call my mom. Like, I know my mom's there. And if she wasn't there, I'm pretty sure I would have just hit the guy up that got the RV, and he lived not too far away from the RV. And I'd rather go over there because he lived with his parents and stuff. So, and I kind of knew them, but that was option B. So I don't know. I don't know if that was my faith or that was just sense. I don't know. But I was kept, and I didn't get in trouble, and I was safe, and the photo shoot went great. The pictures came out great, and I now can stand before you and tell you that I was in that situation, because as holy and graceful and pure that I sustained myself to be you're still going to be in situations where darkness is there, and you have to be the light, and you have to be the salt, and you have to not be hidden. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I believe in God, and it's like, okay. No, like you have to walk into that authority, which contributes to your identity. And there's a lot of people our age or younger or just around like that are young that are still trying to find their way. But a lot of times they're operating from some trauma they didn't get over when they're 11. So now they're deciding their life from an 11-year-old's perspective. And you don't know that. But that's why you need to strengthen your identity, like strengthen your spirit, but spirit identity for me, that's the same thing. So I'll highly encourage, get your own Bible. Oh yeah, this Bible right here. What's it called? It's the NLT version, New Living. New Living Translation. It has these little notes in here. I don't know if y'all see it. It's a little dirty. I've had it for a while. But it has these like little notes about these certain scriptures or different people in the Bible and things like that. And it just makes you think. And it's helped me a lot because when I first bought this Bible, I don't know when I actually opened it, when I bought it. But when I opened it, I was like, oh my gosh, like all these pages smell so new. These need to be, like, we need I don't know, we need some girth in here. But now it's like, it's always open. It's always there right beside my bed. And it's like, Lord, this is my time, you know? And as I conclude, because I'm a little overtime. Am I overtime? Yes, I am. Mr. Thellis' scripture, when I first started going to this church, when we were learning about the thorny ground and what is it called? Stony ground, thorny ground. It's Luke 4 is when Jesus was saying the parable, but then he actually explained it because some parables he does not explain. But this one he did, and I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. So yes, go to Luke. There's a lot of books that really will help you out, but Luke 8:4 to 15, and then right after that is the parable of the lamp of what I just referred to about being the light and not being hidden. That's something else, and you can read that every day and ask the Lord to reveal more and more about it. You can read one little scripture and it could just be so potent. It can just be so strong and it can sustain you for a month. And then once you feel like, okay, I think God has shown me this lesson, and you see how much the outcome has changed your environment, then you meditate on something else. This Bible for sure with the notes has helped me a lot. It just keeps me, because sometimes when I'm reading, I kind of get like, oh my gosh, this is like a lot of reading. But the notes kind of help me digress a little bit and then get back into it. So highly recommend to get this one. And I'm very grateful for you guys' responses. And I really hope that you keep strengthening your identity, because that's all that matters. Anywhere you go, however much older you get, that's literally what the whole world is about. What do you represent and who you are? Thank you.
Let her. So when we talked about, so like she was saying in the morning, like I felt safe to say, what were you thinking? Eating, the breakfast, looking over the hotel at that moment, because she brought it up and she created that safe space to be open. So I would just say from a parental perspective, we do, because at one point we were the kid. At some point our parents had to let us go, and some of us might have just ran out the door, but sometimes it makes it easy when we can still have that door, because I know I ran out the door and I just didn't tell my parents nothing. But at least I felt like I created a safe space for her to be able to share, this is what I was thinking, this is what I was feeling, even if it might not have been a wise decision at that moment. So I just wanted to share that.